What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? Check this out. I finally decided to get one of these Fumpkins at Michael's. They were only $8. And I decided to carve me one of those John Carpenter Halloween, the original, the immortal 1978 classic title card jack-o'-lantern. I need to do some touch-ups on it. And of course, I'm going to have to repaint the whole thing because it just looks like a fake pumpkin right now. When I get done with that, it's going to look like something special. So, I didn't do a video or anything for it, so I figured I'd just show it off here because it's kind of related to what we're going to be talking about. So, we just had to walk into Alzheimer's, and afterwards, we stopped off at the mall. And one of my favorite stores growing up is this place called Newberry Comics. Now, it's completely changed from when I was a kid, but I still have to go in there for a wicked good time. You know, if you're from the New England area, especially Massachusetts, Rhode Island, maybe even New Hampshire, you know all about Newberry Comics. And I picked up one of those Funko Savage World He-Man style horror figures. Now, I had 4 to choose from today. I can only do one at a time because I'm always broke. And that's really all there is to it. And it really came down to Michael Myers and Leatherface. I also saw Pinhead, and over at the GameStop, they had a Freddy Krueger. Now, I do have another GameStop that's kind of holding a Freddy and a Jason, so I stayed away from it. And I really wanted to get these in my hands. So I guess what's going to happen is as I get them, I'll review the figures. Whether it be one at a time or if I end up picking up multiple in the next run, whatever. There's 5 total. So let's look at the packaging. I think this is pretty cool. What I'm probably going to do to open them is I'm not going to pull the blister off. I'm actually going to cut the blister so the packaging stays somewhat intact. Not necessarily to put them back in here for display, but because I just think that's a really cool background and everything. So what we have in the package so far is just Mikey here, just hanging out. And he's got 2 of these kitchen butcher knives, one for each hand, ready to wreak havoc upon Haddonfield. And apparently this is from the Resurrection flick. I don't care. Believe it or not, the mask looks way better than the Resurrection mask anyway. Looks super washed out in the camera. I don't know. There's more of a gray tone to it than there is white. But I think it looks really cool. Could use a slight touch-up in paint on the head, but we'll get to that later. So let's look at the back. You can see here we got a Freddy Krueger. Again, I saw him today. If the camera will... There we go. There's a Jason Voorhees, which, even though Jason's my favorite of all of these guys, he's not my favorite figure. Actually, my favorite figure would come down between Michael and Leatherface. Leatherface was it was a heavy figure. Some substantial crap going on with him. And, he had a detachable hand here with a chainsaw. Very reminiscent of some of the other action figures in the Masters of the Universe line. And he's also got a mallet that would also attach to his hand. That's pretty cool. Talk more about that when the time comes. This is the only one I'm really not too excited about. I could give 2 shits less about this, but to complete it, not that I'm a completionist, I will eventually get him. But it does come with the old Rubik's Cube there from hell. And what looks to be a crowbar, I know it's a hook. I know it's a meat hook. And, yeah, so let me get this cut nicely, get him out, and we'll have a look at the figure itself. Okay, here he is out of his imprisonment. And overall, I gotta say, I'm somewhat satisfied with this figure. There's one little thing about it that really bugs me. Is it a deal breaker? Maybe for some of you it might be. If I had known, I might have gone with the Leatherface first. But seeing as we have a new Halloween movie coming up, the Halloween season's upon us, and I just made that pumpkin, why not get Michael Myers? But overall, the articulation's everything you would think it is. His head does a little no. Would have been nice if they put it on a ball so you could tilt it, but whatever. Arms, they do rotate up and down. The waist moves, and the legs move as if they would on an actual Masters of the Universe figure. And there you see the one gripe I have with it. We'll get to that here in a second. I'm sure you can figure it out already, though. I do not know if they have the ball joint kind of thing going on here with the rubber band, or if there's an actual ball joint there that is spinning on. I'm not going to pull on it just because I have bad luck and I don't want him to fall apart. That also said, When he was in the package at the store, both myself and the clerk behind the counter noticed that his arm socket was coming out a little bit. We were able to pop it back in. So I don't know if that's just a one-off thing or if these are prone to lose their arms over time or not. But we were able to pop it back in. And the guy did tell me, look, if you have a problem with it, just bring it back with the receipt, and I'll replace it or refund it for you. Not that he had another one. He had this, he had Leatherface, and he had Pinhead. And that's it. That's all he had in the store. But either way, we popped it back in and it seems to be okay. I just thought I'd mention that. Just give you something to look out for when you do go to the stores to buy them. Now, he does come with 2 of his iconic weapons. 2 of these butcher blades. But you can already kind of see the problem here. It's loosey-goosey. It's like putting a hot dog down the hallway. Is that the expression? When she's a little loosey-goosey? This is the only disappointing part about this figure. You know, he has these 2 big bulbous hands. And these 2 big butcher knife blade things. And he can barely hold on to them because the handles on the blades are way too small for those big meaty hands. And you know what? Giving the aesthetic of this figure, it would have been cool if he was just out there with 2 fists just clinching knives. And I've tried everything. I said, you know what, maybe you're supposed to hold them overhand or something like that. And I got it to stay. Let's see if I can do it this time. But it just kind of just slips right through. That's kind of disappointing, Funko. Unfuck that. Make bigger blades, please. Maybe down the line I'll do that for myself. But aside from that and the arm thing, I couldn't be any more pleased. This is such a great action figure. I could not wait to dip into the other, well, 3. I'm not really excited about Pinhead because I think the sculpt just looks stupid. But that could be said about all of them, depending on who you are. So let's get an actual Masters of the Universe figure. Maybe I'll just grab He-Man off the shelf. We'll compare the 2 together and I'll give you my final thoughts. So here's Mikey next to Mr. He-Man himself. And as you can see, for the most part, they're pretty comparable. What you can't see, I'm looking at the viewfinder, is there is a size difference between Michael Myers here and He-Man here. Whereas Michael's just a little bulkier and his arms are thicker. And I don't know if they did that on purpose or if they just guesstimated a size. I'm pretty sure they didn't guesstimate. They wanted to give you the idea of a Masters of the Universe figure while doing their own thing. But either way, fits in pretty well. I kind of dig it. I love the sculpt on this mask. This mask looks great. A little bit of touch-ups with some black and grays. This mask is going to look amazing. I can't wait to get my paint brushes out. However, do you see something that's fucking ironic as hell? Do you see it? Can you see it? Do you see it? He-Man can hold the blade with 0 effort. Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest legs either. As is the case with a lot of Masters of the Universe. He-Man can hold the fucking blade. But Mikey can't. Why am I not focused? Come on, guys. Come on. There we go. So, that just adds to the disappointment. But, you know, it's just for fun. Maybe I'll keep the blade in He-Man's hand and see if anyone even fucking notices. So, guys, that is my somewhat review of Savage Worlds Halloween Resurrection Michael Myers 5.5-inch action figure by Funko. I cannot wait to dip my balls deep into the rest of these figures, except for Pinhead. And that's it, guys. So go ahead and leave feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback is positive. Let me know what you think. Have you collected any of these, and what do you think about them? Do you plan to, or could you just not give a shit about them? Either way, go ahead and let me know down below, guys. I got a lot coming up in the next few weeks. A lot. I got another build challenge I'm probably going to film. I received an amazing show donation yesterday. One of those, the old lady comes up from the mailbox. Were you expecting a package? Well, no. No, I was not. And if you follow me on any other social media, you already know what it is. But my comment on there was, when you receive a package you're not expecting it, you're either going to get fucking anthrax or it's going to be something cool, and I promise you it's not anthrax. So, guys, look forward to that. That should be here probably in about a week or so because I need some time to play around with it. That's really all there is to it, guys. So I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you always so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, take care, creep it real, and bye-bye. Bum 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 ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Um. Yeah, I guess you'll just have to stand next to your sister there, buddy. I really need to reorganize these shelves.